North Division semifinals between the Nueva Ecija and San Juan.
This game is featuring two teams of a heated rivalry in the past 2 years of the Mpbl. Orlan straight away, three-pointer. Royce Humang seemed to have hurt himself. Oh, and he still drained that jumper. Panganiban drives, Panganiban scores. Makaloni scores inside, and that's basket and one. Wico will drive, Byron for the lead. That's good. Here's the franchise player of the San Juan Knights. Orlan Momar drives. Orlan Momar will score! Mula sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao at sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong panonood ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. And folks, the rivalry continues as we come to you live from the Nueva Ecija Coliseum in Palayan City, the home of the Mpbl's 4th season champions, the Rice Vanguards, who are looking to stay alive in the 5th campaign of our league here in game number 2 for Chris Bitoon and the rest of Nueva Ecija, going up against the San Juan Knights, who obviously were led once again by their franchise player in Orlan Momar in game number 1, where he was able to bag his 3rd Best Player of the Game award in our postseason. There you see Coach Gerson Cabildes. He went through something like this last year, where he lost game number 1 against Coach Randy Alcantara in the San Juan Knights. But last year, Coach Randy had home court advantage in game 2 inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center, wherein they were one Jodel three-pointer away. That's Jodel Fuentes, who had the chance to advance San Juan to the finals, but he wasn't able to make it. So Nueva Ecija, with the heroics of Shaq Laganas, was able to survive and ultimately win the series in 3 games. Is it going to be payback or back-to-back as we welcome you to our coverage here in Palayan City? Thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Javi Palanya and Sydney Crespo. Now, Javi, I don't have a complicated question for you. I just want to get your thoughts about this heated rivalry so far.
Yeah, these two teams have figured it's such close encounters the past 2 years, and we can only hope for another blockbuster matchup here in Game 2 as Nueva Ecija tries to extend this series to a deciding Game 3.
Well, if there's going to be a Game 3, it will happen here in Palayan City this coming Monday, because as you take a look at our playoff bracket, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns have already advanced to the North Division Finals.
That's right, the first team into our division finals, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, outclassing the Caloocan Batang Kankalu. Tomorrow, it's going to be the south end of things as Bacoor tries to dispose of the Zamboanga Family's brand sardines, as well as the Batangas Embassy Chill. They will try to enter series against the Jensen Warriors of Coach Rich Alvarez.
Now, speaking of the Jensen Warriors, their former star, Nico Panganiban, is now playing for the San Juan Knights, and he was actually almost our best player in game number 1. Talk about his performance.
Yeah, Nico Panganiban really exploded in that game, especially in the 4th quarter, where he scored 11 points, showing that all-star caliber performance that we knew him to be last year when he played for the Jensen Warriors. He really set the tone for that comeback of the Knights in that 4th period before Orlan Momar and Marvin Taiwan took over in the clutch. Look at the shot chart right there of Nico Panganiban. Couple of shots from the outside, but a lot of them, of course, coming from the inside, and that's something that Nueva Ecija has to prevent. We all know how Nico Panganiban is very successful whenever he gets a free lane to the basket. Such a talented slasher, and of course also a very athletic finisher as well.
I want to give a big shout out to our production team for that shot chart. It basically explains to you that Nico Panganiban is a guy who shoots 3-pointers or who gets layups for the San Juan Knights. As now we talk about Michael Wico, the king of the north for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. He had a very unique stat line in game number 1.
That's right. You know, Michael Wico, obviously still one of the best players here in the Mpbl, and although he seems to be up there in age, he is still a very legendary player for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, although his performance was not so legendary in Game 1 as he only scored 7 points on 2 out of 7 field goals, and that is something that Nueva Ecija needs to address, because there are more guys that are not really stepping up to the plate. Michael Wico, he's the guy that Nueva Ecija needs to look at in terms of generating offense and just also firing up his teammates in general.
That's 2 field goals and 3 free throws made by Michael Vico in game number 1. And his statistics were 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. And that's playing hurt because of recent ankle injury and a recent finger injury for Mr. Wico. Now, let's talk about more numbers in game number 1 that happened inside the Brenzigao Convention Center. A tight game that just gave a lot of amazement to our Mpbl fans.
Yeah, you know, we were expecting Nueva Ecija already to come up with a victory there in game 1 in the Brenzigao Convention Center. However, San Juan had other plans in that match. The Rice Vanguards were ahead by as much as 14 points. In fact, they led for almost 31 minutes in that game before San Juan took over in the fourth quarter. They scored 50 points in the second half, talking about the Knights, and limited only Nueva Ecija to 11 points in that third quarter. That started their downfall, and which ended in an 86-82 victory for the Knights. As we look at the numbers here, the biggest stat line that both teams need to improve on are actually the free throw shooting. 21 out of 35 for the Knights, 11 out of 22 lamang para sa Nueva Ecija. These are things that dapat postseason na, dapat sharpen na ang free throw shooting ng parehong koponan, especially from these championship caliber teams with such deep rosters. These are the little things that they need to work on to be able to secure victories para sa kanilang koponan.
And we always talk about this. You have more missed free throws compared to the deficit that you have at the end of the game. That's basically the difference for you. As now we talk about our player matchup, the star point guard matchup of this series.
Now, I was talking to assistant coach Joseph Guion of Nueva Ecija, and one of the biggest adjustments that they would need to make in this game is defending against Orlan Wamar. Obviously, Wamar is one of the guys that we've been talking about as one of the top franchise players in the league. We talked about that during our first game, wherein his influence on and off the court, as well as his dominance in terms of scoring the basketball in the clutch, as well as making plays for his teammates. He was a big reason why they won that first game. While Chris Bitol, he went off to a good start in game 1 for Nueva Ecija. But again, the question for Nueva Ecija, who is gonna take over just like Hesed Gabo did last year para sa kanila?
And as you can see, Roy Sumang is in street clothes, so he will not be playing in tonight's action. So you can rely on other point guards like Philip Bananang, Joshua Tanilla, Pamboy Raimundo, and Chris Piton to step up for Coach Gerson. Now, Chris Piton and Orlan Wamar are with Sydney Crespo.
Yes, Migs and Javi, kasama ko nga ang top guards ng kanilang mga teams, Orlan Wamar Jr. and Chris Bitoon. Orlan, this is your chance to take San Juan back to the North Division Finals at nasa inyo na rin ang momentum ngayon. How will you take advantage of this opportunity?
Coming from this game, iniisip namin na do or die sa amin kasi yun nga, mahirap bumalik dito kasi pag nag-game 3 pa, alam namin, delikado na kami. Kaya yun, sana kung ano man ginawa namin ng game 1, madoble pa namin yun.
Alright, thank you so much, Orlan, and good luck to you tonight. Ngayon naman, Chris, it was a tough loss in Game 1, kaya paano ninyo babawiin itong series na ito to force Game number 3?
Siguro magiging aggressive lang kami both side, offensively and defensively.
Ngayon naman, Chris, ayain mo ang buong Nueva Ecija Coliseum na suportahan kayo ngayong gabi.
Ayun, syempre nagpapasalamat ako sa buong Nueva Eciaño na laging sumusuporta sa amin and patuloy nyo kaming suportahan sa darating na Game 3.
Alright, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me tonight. Ngayon naman, mga kaliga, simulan na natin ang ating game number 2. Richard Tampos, take it away.
Repeat for the San Juan Knights, taking game number 1 of their series versus the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguard. Nice cut. Jay Collado hangs and scores. Villarias on the reverse. Yes, sir. Basket and 1. 7 on the shot clock. Pamboy.
Nueva Ecija Coliseum, Palayan City. Are you ready? Here are the starters. First, Season 2 Datu Cup champions, San Juan Knights. At guard number 24, Nico Panganiban. Playing center number 16, Zach Wang. Forward number 11, Jeff Tahonera. Power forward number 2, Mike Calisan. And at point guard number 5, the 2023 Mpbl All-Star 3-point champion, Orlan Wamar Jr. Their head coach, led by the team owner, Honorable Senator Jingoy Estrada, assisted by Randy Alcantara with Yon Garcia and Adi Bondulan. Coaching consultant is the original Tapal King, the scholar Philip Cesar, team manager Julius Mann, co-team owner Jeremy Go. And now, for the reigning and the Mpbl defending champions, your Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards. Power forward number 23, Jay Collado. At guard number 24, Joshua Fontanilla. Playing center number 28, the Komodo Dragon. Belated happy birthday, Michael Mabulag. Starting at guard number 29, Senor Explosivo, Mike Huico. And forward number 51, Big Bang Toto, Byron Villarias. Rice Vanguards is led by Gerson Tavildes. His assistants are Noy Catalan, Florian Pineda, Arnold Oliveros, Joseph Dion, Harold Dang, and Ariel Season. Team coordinator Dan Javier. Coaching consultant Steven Son Chu. Assistant team manager Raymond Dizon.
Presenting the starters for game number 2 of San Juan and Nueva Ecija, we have Orlan Mamar, Nico Panganiban, Zach Wang, Michael Calisaan, and Jeff Tahonera for the Knights. And then we have Joshua Fontanilla working with Michael Wico, Michael Mabulak, Jay Collado, and Byron Villarias for our defending champions, the Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards. San Juan leads this series 1-0, much like last year, but the difference is this time around, Byron Villarias and company have home court advantage. If they win tonight, we will head back to Palayan City this coming Monday for game number 3. Thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Javi Palanya and Sidney Crespo. Now, Orlan Romar has the basketball, and as Javi mentioned in our pregame, it's all about stopping him for Nueva Ecija. And in this game, there's no Roy Sumang. So I asked the 4 point guards available for Coach Gerson, how do you stop Orlan Romar, as now it's a turnover for San Juan? Joshua Fontanilla said it's better to have him shoot with one hand rather than 2 hands, which means we'd rather give him the layup rather than the 3-pointer. The same thing came from Philip Manalong, make him shoot from the inside. Pamboy Raimundo said, deny him the basketball. And Chris Biton said, kailangan namin siyang pagurin defensively, so we have to attack his defense.
That's what they're trying to do now in that first possession, as Fontanilla tried to take him off the dribble, but Mabulak could not knock down the shot after that 2-man game.
Michael Wico hearing the cheers of the crowd. Scramble inside, no foul called. And here comes Panganiban on the run. Nico Panganiban is fouled. And that's 2 free throws.
This is not the start that Nueva Ecija would want, allowing Panganiban right away the opportunity to score in transition.
Oh,
And right away, an altercation between Jeff Tahonera and Michael Wico. Calisaan trying his best to push away his teammate. Alam niya na importante si Tahonera, especially when you're going up against a team with a deep front line like Nueva Ecija. You need Tahonera's experience as well as his ability to shoot from the outside and play physical against the big men of the Rice Vanguards.
Jeff Tahonera is one of the 3 mainstays as champions in Season 2 alongside Orlan Mamar and Joseph Ubalde for San Juan. But I also have to say this. This seems to be the earliest time that we have seen Rudy Distrito on his feet in an Mpbl game, which is just a testament as to how physical it has been already in this opening minute. There you see the altercation between Wico and Tahonera, and it doesn't stop there.
barely a minute into this game. 9 minutes and 1 second the time on the game clock, and right away, the Destroyer already up on his feet. Look at that, Michael Calisan doing a good job of trying to push away Jeff Taonera from trouble.
Well, San Juan already knows about this. Nueva Ecija, this crowd is the type of crowd that feeds off of these moments. And Michael Wico, the reason why he's the most famous guy in this city, and we say that because in terms of jersey selling, sa kanya po ang pinakamabenta dito sa Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. And it's because of those types of things. He plays like an enforcer on the court for his teammates.
Oh, he's not called King of the North for nothing.
There's Coach Randy Alcantara, who obviously has a lot of commitments as a coach, but he has made his way here in Palayan City, as now he's not happy with the referees.
The call was a technical foul on Jeff Taonera for violation of the uniform protocol, and I think Coach Randy is mad that hindi mo na binigyan ng warning si Jeff.
So Byron is at the line to shoot the bonus. That's good for our reigning finals MVP. There have been talks about the struggles of Byron Villarias in terms of his shooting in this season, but in game number 1, he made 4 3-pointers out of 8 tries, so that's a good clip of 50% for Byron. Nico Panganiban is about to shoot free throws as he was fouled on the fast break opportunity. We talked about him in the pre-game. Had 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in game number 1. More importantly, he was 5 out of 6 from the stripe. A good 83% clip for Nico in game 1 as he makes his first gimme.
And 11 points in the fourth quarter makes. That speaks to how comfortable he has started to feel here with San Juan rather, after being up and down this whole year.
Now let's take this time to present your keys to victory for the San Juan Knights.
First will be 3 will be key here for the Knights. They're tied with Gensan as the number 1 team in terms of 3-point percentage at 33.1%. They made 9 in game 1, but here in game 2 they'll have to make more than 10. They average 10 this year, but they'll have to make more than that, because you can expect the Rice Vanguards that they're gonna pack the paint and force a lot more outside shots here against the Knights. Number 2 will be box out. Nueva Ecija out-rebounded them in game 1, 47-41, and was also able to get 18 second chance points. So that is one thing that they will need to address. Lastly is avoid digging themselves into a hole. They don't want themselves to be in a big disadvantage just like they were in game 1, because I'm sure Nueva Ecija will try their best not to make that comeback of the Knights happen here in game 2, especially playing on their home floor where they have been undefeated.
Jeff Taonera just made a 3-pointer for San Juan, and yes, they did trail by as many as 14 in game 1 versus the Rice Vanguards. Now your keys to victory for our defending champions, as there's a foul called inside.
Number 1 is strong start, stronger finish. We already saw that in game 1, but the stronger finish we did not see. It was a weak finish for Nueva Ecija. San Juan was able to make a big turnaround, a 50-point second half, to be able to come away with that victory in game 1. Number 2, please don't let me go. They had a lot of turnovers, which San Juan was able to capitalize in that game, which also was the reason for the turnaround in that match. And number 3, win the war against Wamar. Wamar has been so influential, especially in the end game. And one thing we've been talking about simula pa lang ng pregame, and especially with your conversations with the point guards of Nueva Ecija, is Orlan Wamar will be the most important piece here for the Knights. And if he's not able to deliver, then San Juan will be having a hard time getting the victory here in this game.
It's as simple as this. To stop San Juan, it is equal to stopping Orlan Wamar, as now Calisan is trying to do the damage for the Knights. He had 10 points and 9 boards in game number 1 with 2 steals to his name. Remember, in the regular season, Calisan was actually the kontrabida here in Palayan City, as he was the one getting the most cheers from the crowd. That's why he seems to be really used to playing on the road already. Was there a violation? Yeah, on Fontanilla. He tried to box out Calisan before he even shot the ball.
That may be one advantage rather of having a slow release.
And Michael went immediately to complaining about Josh, as now he converts his second, or his third free throw at that. 7-3 now. Nueva Ecija down by 4. 2 minutes gone by in game number 2. Here's Michael Mabula. Pass inside. Wico will miss.
As usually, a shot that he makes. Not really much resistance defensively there for the Knights. Sorry, miss for Michael Wico.
And he was called for a foul as he grabbed onto Zach Wang. See, the thing is, if you even try to mess up Zach Wang on the court, he's the type na hindi babawi sa'yo. He's so silent, and he actually thrives in these situations. Gusto niya yung nakikipagbagaan against Nueva Ecija.
Yeah, he has the physical tools to be able to absorb the contact and to be unbothered when you try to bump him off. And he also has that demeanor that you mentioned na hindi nga niya pinapatulan kung ano mga mental games ang sinusubukan na dalhin sa kanya ng kalaban.
Unfortunately, Zach Wang just turned the ball over with a traveling violation. We're back with Nueva Ecija, almost a steal for Orlan Wamar. Here's Michael Mabula, 3 on the shot clock. Michael, someone has to fire. Josh will do, and that's a three-pointer.
Remember, Joshua Fontanilla has been activated in this game because of the absence of Roy Sumang, who is out with an ankle injury. This is his first time playing in this series. And right away, delivering with a three-point shot. So that's good news for Coach Gerson Cabiltes and Nueva Ecija.
This three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. The buzzer beating three-pointer to the former UST Growling Tiger in Joshua Fontanilla. He's had a ton of starts already in the season for Coach Gerson. Then again, as you mentioned, he wasn't in action in Game 1. Let's see what he can do against Orlan. Wamar, two-man game. They go to Kalisaan, mid-range, too strong.
Coach Joseph
pushing.
Coach Joseph Guion mentioned during their warm-up that they would give Orlan Wamar different looks on the pick and roll. Sometimes they would trap, sometimes they would force him to shoot from the outside, and sometimes they would give him a look driving inside the paint to distract him and make him guess what he's gonna do to not make him feel comfortable with just one look.
Good defense by Nueva Ecija. Here they are on the counter. Collado for 3. Bombs away.
One other thing that could be a very good use for Nueva Ecija, and one reason for them being undefeated here at home, is to use the energy of the crowd.
The Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards are still undefeated here in Palayan City. This season, they're 7-0. They've only lost once in 2 years, and that's to the San Juan Knights in Game 1 of last year's North Division Finals. Jay Collado, he normally does this by the end game, but why not at the start?
You leave him that wide open in that top of the circle area. That's his favorite spot to shoot from the outside. Whenever he's trailing a play or maybe coming out of a pin down from the free throw line area, you gotta be wary of the presence of Jay Collado.
Now, we have to be wary of the presence of our courtside reporter, Sydney Crespo, who has a report for us.
Thanks, Migs. Maraming bagay ang kailangan i-maintain ng Nueva Ecija ngayong gabi. Ang kanilang 7-0 record dito sa home court, ang pagiging defending champions at ang energy na ipapakita daw nila mula first to fourth quarter. Coach Gerson Cabiltes do not want to see the same mistakes again nung Game 1. In his own words, they let it slip away. Too many fouls, too many turnovers. Tulad ng masabi ni Javi na Coach Gerson could not wait any longer for this game. Pagkatapos daw ng Game 1, he's been waiting for this moment. Let's see how he replicates last season's comeback. Back to you guys.
Like, that's the type of coach Gerson Cabiltes is. He's the type that when he loses, he goes straight to the film. Hours and hours at it. Doesn't even sleep. Sometimes it reaches days that he's just watching the game of Nueva Ecija, and so you can just feel for him this past week. As you see Mrs. Mabulak on the screen, Michael is now at the line after having 8 points and 8 boards in game number 1.
Oh, he'll be needing more points on the board in this one. Talking about Michael Mabulak, 8 points and 8 rebounds. That's not enough if you're one of the leading production guys para dito sa Rice Vanguards.
Well, Michael Mabulak did just celebrate his birthday recently, so let's see if he can give himself a treat in tonight's outing. Pass inside, Zach Wang, one-hander, no bounce. Rebound Byron. Forward pass, almost a steal. Renz Palma, 3-on-3. Palma with a kick out. Collado for 3. That's short. There's a push by Mike.
That was very obvious. Good call for our baseline referee, blowing a whistle on that push by Mabulak.
And he's obviously very upset because that's now 2 fouls on Michael Mabulak. Remember, he fouled out in game number 1. Will Macaloni now makes his first appearance in this matchup. The all-star starter for Coach Gerson in the 5th season of the Mpbl. Now Orlan will also be taking a breather. Pasok dito si Marvin Taiwan. Alisaan back at the line. First one is no good. And Senator Jinggoy Estrada is struggling a bit at the sideline. He's always like that with every missed free throw by San Juan.
So if your team missed 14 free throws, 21 out of 35, then you would really some way like that split at the line. There are already 3 missed free throws in this game para sa San Juan, 4 out of 7 so far.
That's near 50% as Fontanilla passes to Byron. His 3-pointer is long. Rebound to Nico Panganiban. Nico now steps on the bricks. He goes to Marwin. Taiwan was clutch, hitting 2 3-pointers in the 4th of game number 1. Bounce pass to Nico against Renz Palma. 10 on the shot clock. Nico Panganiban backing down. He passes. Calisan could not control the ball. Then he shoots and scores off the glass and in.
Not quite sure if he intended for that to go off the back, but he'll take it.
Oh, that's a push by Will. A charge.
What about Calisan? He's been doing a good job on the defensive end against the bigs of Nueva Ecija. Earlier, he was able to draw a foul against Mabulak. This time, it's Will Macaloni na wala pa 2 minutes sa laro na to.
And it must have really taken a lot of force from Will Macaloni to take down Michael Calisan after that 3-point make by Mike. There, see what happened. All the physicality between the 2 big men.
Well, he did sell that pretty well. Macaloni was trying to argue for a flop, but that's part of the game. Sometimes you gotta sell calls to the referees.
Will is still trying to plead his case to no avail. They have a couple of wet spots on the floor because Calisan went down. Now Adrian Nocom will be inbounding, a guy who struggled in game number 1. Tried to make him explain about it, and he said he also could not understand what happened. It was just an off game for him. First time daw mangyari yun sa buong buhay niya. Marvin Taiwan against Chris Biton. Marvin escapes. Good tap by Chris. Out of bounds.
First shot right there by Taiwan. He was the only guy who was able to hold the basketball on that offensive set for San Juan.
Here's Chris Biton, the best player in the 2 wins of Nueva Ecija in these playoffs so far. Turnover story, 3-4. Macaloni against Calisan. Going to Collado now. Jay, tough pass. San Juan's on the run. They have numbers. Zach Wang all the way. Sorry, miss. Rebound Nueva Ecija.
Could have given it up to Ejiboy Mojica, who was trailing on the right side, but forced it up on the left was Zach Wang.
2-man game. Chris Biton, step back, 3-pointer. That's good.
Oh boy, if Chris Biton continues to hit threes like that, this crowd inside the Nueva Ecija Coliseum will be in pandemonium the entire night.
13-11 now. Under 4 minutes to go in the opening frame. Nocom. That's his first field goal in this series, but that was also a tough ball for Adrian. He looked to have hurt his shoulder. Let's hope it's not as bad.
It looks like he's able to get some movement on it. And he's now up on his feet. Let's see what happened. He tried to turn the corner, got the step on Villarias, but Macaloni was there to get him off balance. Now we know that whenever someone is airborne, it doesn't take a lot of force to get them out balanced.
That's really dangerous if you think about it. And remember, Will Macaloni did something like that to Don Reverente in the Pasay series, wherein Don Reverente tumbled in the air. So it's good to see that Nocum is okay. And there's no drastic call for Will.
You could have even argued, if you're Coach Randy Alcantara, that should have been an unsportsmanlike foul because there wasn't really a play for the basketball.
14-13, Taganas, high-low, good hands by Kalisaan. Ball out of bounds in favor of San Juan.
That's what he's there for. That length on the defensive end, trying to play the passing lanes. He's such a blue-collar worker. Ito si Mike Kalisaan. He's willing to do anything to disrupt the opposing team's plays.
14-13 now, with 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter of game number 2. Marvin Taiwan calling for horns. He goes to Kalisaan. Face up, jumper, air ball, rebound, and the putback for E.G. Boy.
Kalisaan's much more aggressive and looking for a shot here in the first quarter. He readily apologizes after the miss. Good thing Mojica was there to trail the play.
3-point lead now for San Juan. Chris Vitoon going to Jonathan Uiloan against Mojica. Now the ball is with Will Macaloni. Lefty versus lefty. Macaloni will score.
That's such a tough move coming from Will Macaloni against the double team, able to knock it down off the glass.
Lead cut down to 1. Adrian Nocum against Renz Palma. Off of the cross. Here's the switch. Nocum against Taganas. Nocum, no foul there. Good defense by Macaloni. Forward pass. Nice escape by CB.
Does anybody do it better than Shaq Taganas making that forward pass off of a defensive rebound? That was such a difficult feat to make.
And Nueva Ecija has the lead as Taiwan is fouled.
I thought that was going to result in a turnover, but look at that again. This was the stop. Macaloni coming up with that play, and then ball ending up with Taganas, who gets it to Chris Vitoon, who somehow, someway is able to catch that basketball against the defense of Marvin Taiwan.
The calculation made by Shaq Taganas, which is so impressive because it's like he was able to see in his mind where Chris Vitoon was going to be at the time we're in. The ball was going to land on the floor.
The precision right on the money para kay Shaq Taganas.
Marvin Taiwan is now at the line. He had 6 points, but those 6 points were made in the clutch with 2 3-pointers as he makes his first free throw. We talked about him time and time again as an ever-reliable backup point guard to Orlan Momar. He's so reliable na umabot na sa punto na pinagsasabay na sila ni Coach Randy. And now Marvin will take a breather. Balik dito si Orlan. AC Soberano will also check in for Zach Wang.
I think Soberano is one of the guys who need to heat up early here for San Juan, especially noting that they have to shoot more threes in this game. And Soberano is definitely a capable scorer from the outside.
AC had 8 points in game 1 with 2 threes. CB with a second 3-pointer.
That spot money for Chris Vitoon so far here in this game.
20-18, Wamar's double teamed. Ogsang will go to Nocum. 12 on the shot clock. 3-point shooting. Combined 6 makes now as a turnover was forced by Nueva Ecija.
Boy, you still got to give it here to Adrian Nocum. A lot of players will be scared to go inside and attack the paint after they were hurt on their first try to the basket, but not Adrian Nocum. However, on the other side, you see here Chris Vitoon snaking his way past the defense and giving it up on the roll to Will Macaloni.
That's a bit underrated though, having a pick and roll on the break. It completely deceives the defensive players of San Juan as Will Macaloni will now proceed to the line. Here's Will. Conversion for one of the best free throw shooting big men in the Mpbl.
It really helps him a lot that he has a guy like Chris Vitoon to feed him the basketball in situations like that. He doesn't have to put in as much effort in generating baskets because he has a guy like Chris Biton making that happen for him.
What a move by Ichiboy Moika. You don't get to see that every day.
Here in the Mpbl, he's been known as a big 3-and-D guy, but back during his collegiate days, he's been a talented scorer for Adamson.
Renz Palma, a talented scorer himself, misses. And here comes Orlan against 3 players. 3-on-1 now. Makaloni lost his balance. Good defense by Wamar. Now the ball goes outside.
Not a usual sight seeing Orlan Wamar giving up the basketball, but then what about his defense and pulling the chair underneath Will Makaloni in what was supposed to be an automatic 2 points?
Under a minute to go in the first quarter of game 2. Biton, jumper again, no good. Rebound to Nokum. And here's Adrian on the run. Nokum passes. Soberano will fire. That's a corner 3.
That's lousy defense coming from Renz Palma. You don't give up after that fake. You try to get in front of him once again and make the shot for him harder. Unfortunately, AC Soberano, he only needs a little daylight to get a shot off.
That's the third 3 of San Juan out of 4 tries already in this game. Nice cut by Renz. Sorry miss. Taganas, wala pa rin. One more rebound and Taganas will proceed to the line.
That's a playoff foul by Ichiboy Mojica. Nothing needed. No review needed rather in that play.
He did try to go for the ball. Shaq Taganas was also ready for that contact. He now goes to the line. Remember, last year, Shaq Taganas was quiet for the whole 4th season of the Mpbl up until game number 2 versus San Juan, where he made that banker of a 3-pointer for Nueva Ecija to survive and give them a chance to at least return in the series and win the championship, as Philip Manalang checks in.
He's one of those veterans that you really love to have because, sabi mo nga, despite being quiet the whole of last year, when you need him the most, when it matters the most, he's able to flip the switch, perform, and deliver for your team.
Taganas will take a breather. Balik dito si Michael Wico. And here's Marvin Taiwan. 11 seconds to go before the end of 1. Down to 6 seconds. Marvin against Wico. Taiwan spins and kicks. Nokum will have to fire. And he will beat the buzzer.
That looked good. Excellent ball movement right there para sa San Juan. Taiwan, I thought he was going to go for the last shot himself, but he simply initiated that offense, drawing 2 defenders, having Renz Palma delayed and closing out Nico Panganiban, and Panganiban delivering that extra pass to Adrian Nokum. That was clear as day.
So the basket will count for Adrian Nokum. He's off to a good start after shooting the ball 0 out of 6 from the field in game number 1. And so it's a high-scoring first quarter. 26-25 in favor of San Juan here in Palayan City. Let's talk about Adrian Nokum, the all-star for the San Juan Knights.
Oh, he was really stymied in game 1. 0 out of 6 from the field, good for only 3 points and 3 rebounds, but he did average 12 points per game this year. has been one of the guys na inaasahan talaga ni Coach Randy Alcantara in what has been a new look San Juan squad this year.
Turnover. AC Soberano, pass to Nocum, and Adrian scores again. First quarter field goal shooting natin.
Oh, he timed that perfectly. Look at that, 53% from the field for San Juan, 42% para sa Nueva Ecija. But because of the field goals from the outside, Nueva Ecija has been able to keep this game close.
Free throw shooting, by the way, is at 8 out of 11 for San Juan and 5 out of 6 for Nueva Ecija as Jonathan Oiloan makes a three-pointer.
First three-pointer of the game for Oiloan. That's one guy you don't want to heat up if you're San Juan.
28 all in game number 2. We are in the second quarter. If San Juan wins, they will take on Pampanga in the North Division Finals. If Nueva Ecija wins, we return here on Monday as Adrian Nocum just put on the skates for Nueva Ecija.
Didn't we see a lot of those moves in the first game earlier? Reminiscent of Enzo Serrano, that crossover to the spin. Also the favorite move of one Adrian Nocum.
So that's left to the right for Adrian and Enzo as Wamar now picked up the charge off of Bobby B.
It's a moving screen.
Now, even though Orlan Wamar hasn't been scoring, his teammates have been very effective.
And that's the beauty of this team, the San Juan Knights. That's why Coach Randy Alcantara has been able to bring this team to overachieve. It's because everybody is willing to do anything that their team needs. If one guy struggles, then other players will try to step up. It's next man up mentality always for San Juan. And despite the inexperience, they make up for that with their grit, their passion, and their willingness to help their squad.
Bamboy just checked back in, or checked in for the first time as Michael Mabulak returns. Those two will join Will Macaloni, Jonathan Oiloan, and Michael Wico. And then on the other hand, for San Juan, they have Orlan Momar, Zach Wang, Michael Calisaan, Nico Panganiban, and AC Soberano on the court.
What about the chess match here between these two coaches? Ang bilis ng palitan ng tao dito. A lot of situational subs happening throughout the course of this game, and we haven't even got through the halfway point of this second quarter.
That's a nice looking jumper from Michael Calisaan, who hasn't hesitated from shooting the ball in this game.
He's been very aggressive, especially in taking those shots from the perimeter, those 15 to 18-foot jumpers.
Macaloni off of the cross. He's fouled.
Not really much of a right side. Ito si Will Macaloni. He'll do everything he can to try and get a basket or fish for a foul going left. But he's so good and he's so strong going to that strong side of his that most of the time it ends up in a foul drawn against his opponents.
Macaloni just made his first free throw. This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Second one is no good for Will. Ball rebounded by Michael Calisaan. It's 32 to 29. Almost 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Nico Panganiban against Michael Wico. Panganiban backing down. Panganiban lost his footing. That's a walk.
Coach Gerson, I think, also wanted an offensive foul because Panganiban tried to use his offhand to get through the defense of Wico, who was very physical with him at the post.
There's a warning on Coach Randy as he was trying to complain to our referees. 3-point game. Pamboy will go to Jonathan Oiloan. Pass inside. Macaloni against Calisaan. Will score. Panganiban got hit. He looks to be winded.
It's getting chippy out here.
Did you see what happened to him?
A lot of elbows and arms flying about. I'd love to see a replay on that play.
Coach Randy is signaling that there was an elbow to the face of Nico Panganiban. see what happened here.
This was a great setup for Nueva Ecija. Macaloni breaking free from the defense on that baseline exchange. There you go.
It was Kalisan actually who hit his teammate. Nothing much to say there. We shall continue. Zach Wang bringing down the basketball.
It's actually the force of a Nueva Ecija player that caused Kalisan to bump into Nico Panganiban. Yeah, but the referees were correct not to call anything.
Now Kalisan was fouled on the other end. Still holding on to a 1-point lead. San Juan, after all, is a team that has so much pride here in the Mpbl because this is really impressive. San Juan's minimum in the past years of the Mpbl is the North Division Finals. Last year's finish was actually their worst finish in their history in this league. But we'll talk more about that later on as now we turn you over to Sydney Crespo.
Buo ang loob hanggang dulo. Itong nakita ni Coach Randy Alcantara sa kanyang San Juan Knights noong Game 1. Para sa kanya, body language pa lang daw ng kanyang players. Alam niyang lalaban hanggang dulo. And now that they are only one win away to snatch this series, Coach Randy reiterates, we need to grab the opportunity. Nag-focus sila last week sa pag-recover ng kanilang mga katawan to be strong enough to face a refreshed Nueva Ecija. Tonight, Coach Randy says it is up to his players to run the show and perform. Your thoughts on this, guys?
Well, I remember from the press conference, Coach Randy credited his men on the court for being physical with Nueva Ecija, to say the least. Yung sipag nila, dinaan nila sa kanilang sipag at tiyaga, no? Because you think about it pound for pound, Nueva Ecija totally has that advantage in the interior as Jonathan Uiloan makes a three-pointer. And so, that brings us to Sydney's report, and we also had to give some room for San Juan's bodies to recover.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's not an easy feat going up against the defending champions, a team that has so much talent, and a team that you cannot take lightly in whatever situation. They may be up there in terms of age, but you know that in situations like this, especially with their backs against the wall, they have so much pride, as we've gone on to mention so much in this game, na hindi naman sila papayag na basta-basta na lang sila madedethrone dito, and against a younger team at that here in San Juan.
Panganiban will kick that ball out. Marwin for three. That's good.
Marvin Taiwan, 5 points already here in this game, nearing his total from Game 1, where he had 6. Those 2 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. Early on here, he's trying to play a vital role in terms of putting points on the board.
Marvin Taiwan just gave us the 10th lead change in game number 2. It's now 35-34. Here's Jonathan Uiloan going to Pamboy Raimundo. 3-point shooting natin. A combined 12 out of 17 as Wico is fouled inside.
So it looked like both teams are really trying to hit the shot from the outside. They know that once that starts to fall down for their respective squads, their slashers will have open lanes to the basket. And you know, both teams, Nueva Ecija and San Juan, both have capable players who can attack the cup and finish strong.
Now we have a timeout to calm everybody down here in Palayan City. The score is 35-34 with over halfway done, or almost halfway done in the second quarter. Mula sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao at sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo, maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, kung saan maganda pinapakita ng San Juan, not only in the season but in the past couple of years. They weren't present in Season 1, so we can't count them in that season. But in Season 2, their first season in this league, they were champions. In Season 3, they lost in the finals. In Season 4, they lost to Nueva Ecija in the North Division Finals, courtesy of Sir Bong Cuevas and company. And so if you're San Juan, you actually don't want to follow that trajectory, no, na pababa ka na pababa sa playoffs. You would want to go back to the top of the league wherein you can actually win a championship, because now they're looking good, up 1 game to none, and they still are holding on to a lead. Well, not anymore, because Michael Vigo just tied things up 35 all in game 2.
And you know what, makes come to think of it, if you're San Juan, once you are able to dispose of Nueva Ecija in this series and move all the way to the division finals and have yourselves the opportunity to make it to the national championship, you could be doing 2 things. First of all, you're dethroning the defending champions. Next, you're setting yourself up to be the only team in the history of the league to repeat as Mpbl champions.
Right. And imagine their storyline if they beat Nueva Ecija and Pampanga and Makati in the North Division. That's before the national finals. Wherein, if you pick among those 4 present right now in the South, those are all Titans. So that's a tough journey for San Juan, as now Michael Mabulak is fouled inside.
That's correct, especially with a team that has a lot of unheralded stars. A lot of guys who were looked over by multiple teams. In fact, with all of those teams that you mentioned, San Juan has the least talented roster in terms of big names. But in terms of grit, determination, and the willingness to do anything it takes to put out victories for their team, they definitely are the top.
Mabulak just missed his first free throw. Played 16 minutes in game number 1. Could have played more, but he fouled out. Here's the second. Just made it. 11 lead changes now. Nueva Ecija on top by 1. Byron Villarias now returns as he joins Pamboy Raimundo, Michael Wico, Michael Mabulak, and Jay Collado. On the other hand, it's Marvin Taiwan with Adrian Nocom, EG Boy Mojica, Michael Calisaan, and Jeff Tahonera. Halfway done in the second quarter. Taiwan. Marvin drives. Nice cut. Kick out. Mojica for 3. That's long. Rebound Calisaan. Michael saves the ball. Good effort by Calisaan. Nocom drives. He's met hard by Jay Collado.
I give a lot of credit here to Adrian Nocom. He had all the reason to go up to Jay Collado and say, hey man, but he didn't do it, just walked away after that whistle was blown.
Wow. That was a takedown by Jay Collado with his hands up at that.
Look, he didn't even try to go up and talk to Jay Collado. He realizes that it's all part of the game. The physicality, especially at this level where there is a lot at stake, especially with the history of these 2 squads going up against each other.
First free throw is missed by Adrian Nocom. He is the leading scorer for Senator Chico Estrada, who's looking a lot more stressed now with the missed free throws of San Juan. That's 2 missed free throws.
8 out of 15 from the charity stripe so far here in this game for San Juan.
That's after being 21 out of 35 in game 1. Collado straight away, too strong. Rebound to Calisaan. Numbers for San Juan. Taiwan, he stops and pops. And he misses. Rebound to San Juan, and that's a foul on Byron.
If you're Nueva Ecija, you have to realize the basics. On the fast break, you pull up for a jumper from the perimeter. The most dangerous guy to get to the offensive rebound is the guy who shot the basketball, and Marvin Taiwan was able to get that offensive rebound.
They have a timeout. Nueva Ecija up by 1. let's talk about the ever so hardworking Michael Calisan, who's one of the few big men left on this San Juan roster.
10 points, 9 rebounds, and a couple of steals in game 1, but he did have to bleed for his points against Nueva Ecija. 4 out of 13 from the field. Tonight, he's much more efficient already with 8 points and 6 boards. He has been more aggressive and more efficient in getting his shots off.
San Juan is down by 1, 35-36, with 4 minutes and 22 remaining before halftime in game number 2. Adrian Nocum is being defended by Michael Uico. Those two play like each other, much like how we talked about it in game number 1. Nocum driving left, he lost the ball.
Missed opportunity there for San Juan, especially coming out of the timeout. One of the things that coaches hate when your team turns it over as soon as you throw up a play.
Turnover story at 7-10 in favor of the Rice Vanguards. That is actually usually their problem. They're number 1 in the league in assists, but they're also one of the worst in turning the ball over. As Pamboy makes that jumper.
Pamboy Raimundo, very capable scorer at the point guard spot para dito sa Nueva Ecija, but he's been hot and cold this season. Minsan mahaba ang playing time, minsan hindi. It's his defense that's been a big liability. That's made Coach Gerson question how much playing time he's gonna give Pamboy Raimundo, as Mpbl Mojica answers with a chance to get 3 points the old-fashioned way.
Nice lob on the other end by Adrian Nocum, finding Mpbl Mojica, who had a bit of an advantage against Byron Villarias. That's 2 fouls now for our reigning finals MVP. Mojica is one of those guys who has had to be converted from 3 to 4, that small forward, power forward, and vice versa, because of the lack of natural big men for San Juan. This is a close one. That seems to be a 3 for Pamboy.
Yeah, looks like it was a 3.
So it is a 3. Sakto lang yung shoe size ni Pamboy Raimundo. 39-37. Here's the bonus for Mpbl Mojica. That's no good. And the woes continue for Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Big shout out to our director for giving us that shot each and every time San Juan misses from the line. Collado turned the ball over. Here's Nocum on the run. Numbers for San Juan. Taiwan back to Adrian. Pass inside. Calisaan. 2 free throws.
He already had the basket, talking about Adrian Nocum. A little bit too unselfish on that play, but still a positive outcome out of that offensive set in semi-transition for San Juan.
Collado now has 3 fouls in this game. And Will Macoloni will proceed to the court to replace him. Calisaan with 2 more free throws. He's 3 out of 8 so far from the line. Make that 4 out of 9. Ayan, napapalakpak na at napangiti. Paminsan-minsan para kay Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Free throw shooting, 50% for San Juan so far. Now they're above 50. We have another deadlock with 3 minutes and 11 remaining in the second. The score is 39 all. We have seen 5 deadlocks and 11 lead changes in this game so far. A lot of people are enjoying the action. Big shout out to Madam Ryan Cuevas, Mayor Vian Cuevas also joining us at the sideline. Coach Mike Perez is watching as well. Matiin din natin ng happy birthday at happy watching si Carlo Angelo Hipolito. And good evening as well to JL and Lenzo Goriseta. Matiin din natin si Sir Jake Hooper all the way from Las Vegas. It's 39 all in game number 2. This is Mix Gomez alongside Javi Palania and Sidney Crespo. Pass inside. Macaloni, one more feed. Wico will miss. And here come the Knights.
Oh, that's a second point blank miss of Michael Wico in this first half.
3-pointer in and out for EG Boy, and that's another foul. Kalisaan will proceed to the line.
So it's not just from the perimeter, but also inside where Kalisaan is doing damage here for San Juan. And the other bigs of Nueva Ecija, in fact, actually all of the bigs are having a hard time trying to slow him down.
Now that could have been the third foul of Michael Wico, but now Nueva Ecija will be challenging it. Michael Kalisaan, by the way, has shot more than half of the free throws of San Juan, 10 out of the 18, although he did miss 5 of his gimmies. This is the first challenge for today, following the victory of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns against Caloocan Batangkan Kalu. So somewhere out there on the roads of Nueva Ecija, that Pampanga van is riled up right now, obviously, with very happy people, as they also for sure are scouting this game, because the victors of this series will be facing them in the North Division Finals.
The challenge was unsuccessful.
The challenge was unsuccessful, so that's 3 fouls now on Michael Wico. Jay Collado also has 3 fouls.
That's not a good sign there for Nueva Ecija. As you can see here, this was the play in question. Kalisaan ending up with the offensive rebound against his former fellow San Sebastian Stag.
Now we have to enumerate the people in foul trouble for Nueva Ecija. Collado and Wico have 3, as Kalisaan misses his first gimme. Mabulak has 2, Binarias has 2, and Macaloni has 2 as well. And these are all usually the key rotation pieces for Coach Jerson Gabildes.
Kalisaan, he will continue to try and make situations happen here for his squad, no matter how much he misses.
Field goal scoring natin in the second, 5 out of 9 to 4 out of 10. Off of the turnover, here's Marwin Taiwan. 3-pointer off to the right. No foul there. And here comes CB.
Could have been another push against Nueva Ecija. Got away with a whistle there.
Bito on drives, Bito on kicks. Mabulak saw an opening, and that's a foul on the swipe of Marwin.
You can see for Nueva Ecija, not a lot of post action for the bigs of the Rice Vanguards. San Juan is forcing the frontline players of Nueva Ecija to play face up or attack from the outside, put the ball on the deck, and force them to make mistakes from there. So far, it's been working. They've been keeping this game close.
Orlan Romar now returns for San Juan. The biggest lead is 5 so far. It's been that tight here in game 2. We have another wet spot on the floor, as Nico Panganiban is given time to check in as well. He will replace EG Boy Mojica. Panganiban will now try to chase Byron Villarias on the defensive end. 14 on the shot clock, baseline inbound. Jonathan Uiloan. He goes to Macaloni. And now there's a whistle blown inside, a foul on Zach Wang. Was it on Zach?
It was indeed. I think, yeah, they will be reviewing this.
Remember, Mabulak already has 2 fouls. Let's see who's in foul trouble for San Juan. Kalisaan has 2. Tahonera has 2. That's it. Zach Wang should be safe here.
And if you think about it, it should be the opposite. It should be the Knights who should be in foul trouble, owing to the difficulty in trying to handle the bigs of the Rice Vanguards. But unfortunately for Nueva Ecija, San Juan has been doing a good job of keeping Nueva Ecija out of the paint and out of the low block.
Penalty second.
The foul is on Zach. Michael Mabulak will be proceeding to the line. Again, belated happy birthday to the, and I hope I get this right, the Kimono Dragon?
Komodo Dragon.
Komono Dragon. I think I might be thinking of a restaurant as of this moment, as you get to see Sir Bong Cuevas. And of course, we have the wives and the rest of the families of these Rice Vanguards watching at the sideline. Remember, the finals, where they actually played against Zamboanga in Zamboanga, pinadala po Sir Bong Cuevas, no, yung mga kapamilya ng kanyang mga players in order for them to get support on the road.
By the way, Migs, just very quickly, talking about birthdays, happy birthday to Quezon's Mark Pangilinan and Imuses Macmac Cardona.
Happy birthday to you, sirs. We truly miss you here in this league. See you next season as Michael Calisaan makes another jumper.
San Juan back in the lead here. Calisaan looks like he really prepared himself to be sharp in this game in terms of hoisting up those jumpers. That's where he's been getting the bulk of his points.
13 points now for Calisaan. Momar is on the run. There's the pass to Nocom. Adrian flies and misses. Calisaan again. No putback, but he recovers. Orlan from the corner. That's his first field goal.
Another effort play right there for San Juan.
Mabulak trying to muscle his way through. Nice help defense by Adrian Nocom.
That's just not going to cut it if you're Nueva Ecija. You could see on that previous play a ton of white shirts trying to go for that offensive rebound, which eventually did end up with them. They were able to produce that outside shot. Look at Adrian Nocom flying out of nowhere to stop what could have been an easy 2 points for Michael Mabulak.
Baseline play. Good bounce by Uilon onto Byron Villarias. There's a foul called on Adrian Nocom.
A little miscommunication on the defensive end there during that baseline out of bounds of Nueva Ecija para dito sa San Juan Knights. It should have been a switch. That's why Nocom was delayed in getting to Byron Villarias.
Byron misses his first free throw. He had 14 points with 3 boards in game number 1.
Villarias actually was able to hit his stride early. He was one of the big factors why Nueva Ecija was able to establish a double-digit advantage early in game 1. Here, he hasn't really been able to make much of an impact.
He made 3 3-pointers, right, in the first half of game 1, only making 1 in the fourth quarter. 45-41. Nico Panganiban will drive. There's the pass to Tahonera. Nice fake by Jeff, and he was able to deceive Jonathan Uilon.
That's why many people are still wondering why Tahonera has been getting a lot of playing time. That's one of the reasons why. He can play under duress. And most of all, he's one of the bigs who can match up with the physicality of Nueva Ecija.
Oh my goodness, Orlan Momar just pulled up from Splash Island. Just couldn't drain it. And here comes Philip Manalang. Mabulak trying to seal inside. There's the trailer, Shaq Taganas. Shaq needs a teammate. Cross court he goes. Manalang, 9 on the shot clock. Philip goes to Michael. Mabulak, too strong. And there's a foul inside. Boy, is it gonna be a long evening again for Zach Wang.
Well, now at least in the past couple of minutes, the Nueva Ecija bigs have been able to assert their dominance inside. When the shots go up, they've been able to get into prime position for offensive boards. However, that free throw by Taganas was short.
Nueva Ecija is now 10 out of 17 from the line. Second one for Shaq. He gets his own board. That's what he's known for. And he will go back to the line. But who fouled him? Was it Zach?
I think it was Adrian Nocom.
Because that could have been Zach Wang's fourth foul. So it's Nocom. He's not in foul trouble. Only his second foul.
Well, the Knights are lucky that they've been able to establish a sizable cushion going into the halftime break, despite these mistakes they made in the past couple of possessions. They're also lucky that Nueva Ecija hasn't been making their free throws.
That's 3 straight misses already for JR Shaktaganas. Fourth one still no good. And there's another foul. That means free throws again.
No, I think it's going to be just a lane violation.
Just a lane violation.
So it's going to be a replacement free throw.
Number 5 now for Shak. Or in Taiwan na having a word with our referee. May change ball na tayong gaganap, no? Tingnan natin kung makakatulong yan kay Shak. And that's good. That's like one of the loudest cheers I've heard for a free throw in the Mpbl. Shaktaganas truly deserves it. He trims the lead down to 5 with 16 seconds to go in the second quarter. But remember, in game number 1, in these last seconds of the second frame, we were able to witness 2 great plays made by Coach Jerson Gabildes and Coach Randy Alcantara, 1 each respectively, with conversions from downtown. As now we listen in to Coach Randy.
Baru ini tuh. Dog. Okay. Go. Dito. Base. Saka si Tomo. Okay. Una ka no. Screen. Okay. Tapos screen dito. Pag ganun mo, screen naman dito si Casey. Screen mo si Orlan. Alisin ako mo. Okay. Dito ka. Okay. Tapos dito ka mapunta. Okay. Pag nakuha, si AC ang nakakuha, bigay mo kay Marwin. Okay na? Pag si Orlan, okay na tayo. Okay. Look, yung tao ni, yung tao, ball split to ha, yung tao ni Pagsanan. Yung tao ni Pagsanan ang baka pa nag-switch sa taki. Ha? Gamitin yung mga ano, tayo. Mga extra pass yan ha? Extra pass yan, mahaba yan.
I wish there's a way for us to tell Harvey Pagsanhan to brace yourself in these last 16 seconds because he's going to be attacked by San Juan. Before we proceed, I want to give a big shout out to Sir Christopher Conway and the rest of the Bacoor City Strikers watching the game from Batangas. They will have their own version of a Game 2 tomorrow in Batangas City against Zamboanga. And Batangas will be taking on Jensen as well. Here's the inbound. Orlan Wamar, defended by Joshua Fontanilla. Harvey is covering Adrian Nocom. Nocom will be giving the screen. 7 seconds to go. Wamar stepping back. 3-pointer. No foul there. Rebound Pagsanhan and he will lose time.
Excellent defense right there. Very disciplined by Nueva Ecija to end that second quarter. San Juan was not able to get the switch that they wanted. Fontanilla stayed with Wamar. That forced him into that tough challenge 3-pointer to end the quarter.
It's been a very physical game. Up until this moment, a guy went down. That's Joshua Fontanilla as he got into it with Adrian Nocom for a while there, but no drastic call given up by our referees. And we have our leader of the half, and that is the guy who has been working extra hard inside and out. It's Michael Calisan.
Almost a double-double already para sa kanya. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals mix. That's one of the big things that Michael Calisan has brought to the table here for San Juan. Big reason why they're up by 5 after the end of the first 20.
sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Mpbl na, Mpbl na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Mpbl na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Mpbl na, Mpbl na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Mpbl na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, at Mindanao. Mpbl, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Mpbl na, Mpbl na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Mpbl na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Is payback or back-to-back for San Juan and Nueva Ecija as we come back to you live from the Nueva Ecija Coliseum in Palayan City. Well, so far, San Juan is still looking good on the road. They're up by 5 at halftime.
Yeah, after what was a close first quarter, both teams shooting lights out in that first period. San Juan was able to outplay Nueva Ecija 21-17 in the second quarter. The numbers here after the first half, 50% shooting for the Knights compared to just 36%. Both teams really trying to hit their shots from the outside, a combined 13 3-pointers for both squads. But the free throws have been the same compared to what happened in Game 1. 11 out of 20 para sa parehong koponan. Inside points almost the same, 12-10 in favor of the Knights. But if you're Coach Jerson Cabiltes, that's something that you're worried about because that's a department that you should be dominating owing to the talent that you have in your front line as well as the height advantage.
Well, he did mention it seems like it's Michael Calisaan dominating everybody else in this game so far. He has had a ton of those free throws shot for the Knights, although his percentage isn't really that high. Still gonna get his numbers. Let me find him. There you go. Michael Calisaan is 6 out of 12 from the line with 13 points and 9 rebounds to his name. Adrian Nocom has 10 after struggling shooting from the field. 0 out of 6 in game number 1. Ichiboy Moica has 6 and Jeff Tahonera started in this game and he has 5 points so far here in game number 2. On the other hand, it's Will Macaloni who has 8 points. Same goes for Chris Biton. They combine for 16. Jonathan Oiloan has 6 off the bench. And Shaq Taganas with 3 hard-earned points. He has gone to the line a ton of times already as well. And boy, the number of free throws, Javi. So it's 11 out of 20 times 2. So that's 40 attempts already from the line in this game. In game number 1, we had a total of 57 combined. So with that, would you actually say that this game is a lot more physical?
Oh yeah, definitely. Both teams refusing to give an edge, especially when players are able to get inside the shaded area. Di lang basta-basta pinapakawalan for those easy getaway baskets. If an offensive player is able to get away from the initial defense, the help defense makes sure that no easy basket will be made. They're willing to give up those personal fouls.
And the battle for the rebounds as well has been very tough. If you're actually seated at the sideline, which we are, so if I may share my thoughts for a bit here, I actually tend to get scared already for the players because of us feeling the body contact by the players. Nararamdaman mo na parang at any moment may masasaktan na no? Ganun ka physical.
And you know, this is exactly what playoff basketball is all about. And I'm sure Coach Jerson Cabiltes reminding his players that you have to have a sense of pride being the defending champions. And hindi mo pwedeng basta-basta binibigyan lang ng easy baskets itong kalaban mo, ang San Juan Knights. And during the first game, San Juan, courtesy of Nico Panganiban, had a lot of opportunities. That's why they were able to make a comeback in the fourth quarter and eventually win the ball game.
There was a foul on Josh Fontanilla. Everybody's enjoying the action here in Palayan City as San Juan looks to close out the series. If Nueva Ecija wins, we will return here inside the Nueva Ecija Coliseum this coming Monday for game number 3. Palma goes to Macaloni. Strong side for Will, and he finishes.
Better patient offense right there for Nueva Ecija. Reds Palma not settling for a 3. He knows that he hasn't had a good percentage from the outside. Instead, attracting the defense and getting it to Will Macaloni. But Calisaan continues to work hard here for San Juan. That's another bucket inside the paint.
And a tough feed by Orlan Romar, attracting the defense of 3 blue shirts before that pass.
If you notice, the leading scorers at the half for San Juan, all frontline players.
We did talk about inside scoring as well with the numbers that we were able to present to our viewers. San Juan still has the advantage in that area as Macaloni looked to have been hit hard in that previous sequence. See what happened.
Here was the drive. And Tahonera giving that forearm to the neck of Will Macaloni. That definitely should account for something.
And it really is something that would get you off guard, no? Because how often do you actually get hit at the neck?
this could be an unsportsmanlike foul.
It is.
On San Juan Knights.
I'm actually trying to remember now. With our playing days, have we ever gotten hit on the neck?
Is out of the playing court.
I don't even remember. And there you go. Tahonera is thrown out of this game. He already had a technical foul earlier in the first quarter for the infraction of the uniform protocol. So that's going to be it for Jeff Tahonera. That's a big development for Coach Randy Alcantara because Tahonera has been playing well on both ends of the floor. 5 points to his name and playing good defense against the bigs of Nueva Ecija. Save for that sequence wherein he put his forearm to the neck of a driving Will Macalone.
Now, per our head of referees, George Maxino, if you get ejected from a game and you have at least one unsportsmanlike foul, then most likely you're going to be suspended for your next game.
And that gives even more reason for San Juan to try and finish off Nueva Ecija here in this game because aside from the fact that the Rice Vanguards will have momentum if they force Game 3, San Juan is going to be depleted in terms of frontline personnel when going up against Nueva Ecija in that decider.
Sa lagay na yan, bawas na nga sila sa kanilang big men with Kevin Villafranca out because of a calf injury. Kenneth Villapando is also out because of an ACL injury. And same goes, an ACL injury for Ron Denison. 49-45, Renz Palma will drive. Palma will miss. Rebound, Nueva Ecija. Montanilla will now slow things down. Two-man game. Josh attacks. Josh almost lost the ball. Tough turnaround shot. No basket. There's a loose ball foul.
That's going to be against Jay Collado. Mojica doing a good job of jostling for position against the heftier and bigger Jay Collado.
And that's the fourth foul of Collado in this game already. As now, we present to you again the keys to victory of Javi Palanya for the San Juan Knights. Your evaluation so far?
3 will be key. I give a check mark on that because they had 6 3-pointers in the first half, and that's on the way to getting 10 or more 3-point makes in this matchup. Number 2, box out. Nueva Ecija was still able to out-rebound them in the first half, so that's an X mark. Lastly, avoid digging themselves into a hole. That's a check mark because obviously they finished the first half on top by 5 points and they continue to hold the advantage.
Now your keys for Nueva Ecija.
Strong start, stronger finish. That's an X mark, definitely. They did not start out the same way they did in Game 1. It remains to see if they will finish this game on a higher note. Number 2, baby, please don't let me go. They haven't been doing a good job of taking care of the basketball. 10 turnovers already in this game para sa Rice Vanguards. Number 3, win the war against Omar. That's a check mark. So far, Orlan Omar has not made a significant impact in this match, but we all know that Omar tends to make his presence felt during the second half, especially in the fourth quarter.
And it's not like Orlan Omar is forcing things for San Juan, and his teammates also have been playing very well. That's a tough step back, but Adrian Nocum just made it.
There was no hint of hesitation on that dribble breakdown move by Adrian Nocum. That was all talent, and it took a tremendous amount of practice for him to be able to get that move to go in and out dribble, the crossover, and then the tough jumper over the defense.
51-45, Panganiban feeds, Ugsang lost the ball.
Ugsang, due to the exit of Jeff Tahonera in this game, has had to come on here for Coach Randy Alcantara, and we're now also seeing Joseph Obalde check in for the first time. Oh, that was a quick sub para dito kay Ugsang.
Just a minute of play for him here in the second half after only playing 3 minutes in the first 2 quarters. Here's Montanilla going to Will Macalone. Now they go to Renz Palma. He pulls up. Nice looking jumper.
Well, that's what the defense has been giving him, and that time he decided to take that jumper.
Nocum asking for the clear out. This is a nice matchup. Nocum versus Palma. Nocum lost the ball. Nueva Ecija is running 3-on-3. They go to Renz. Nice cross. Palma tried to feed to no avail. The other end we go. Nico Panganiban. They have numbers. Feed to Kalisaan for the easy 2.
Rice Vanguards have to do a better job of getting back in transition defense. They're getting hurt with those kinds of opportunities.
53-47. This match is the biggest lead of San Juan in the first half of 6 points. Michael Mabulak misses, rebound. That's Joseph Ubalde. Forward pass, Kalisaan could not get to it.
That's a forced situation right there by Orlan Mamor. There was no need to get it quickly to Mike Kalisaan because you still had the option of getting it to the left corner where Adrian Nocum was waiting.
We go back, Chris Biton's way. He won't let the clock move as of this moment. Now he picks the ball up. Chris working with Michael Mabulak. There's the roll. Mabulak attacks. Nice defense by Kalisaan. Ball out of bounds.
They went for the trap. Forced it out of the hands of Chris Piton. Good job rotating for Michael Kalisaan to prevent an easy 2 points by Mike Mabulak.
Now, I can't avoid asking this from you, Javi, as Chris Piton misses from downtown. If there's an argument that Orlan Mamor is the main guy for San Juan, would you say that Chris Piton has been the main guy for Nueva Ecija in these playoffs as Nico Panganiban scores for San Juan?
Oh yeah, I would agree with you in that remark. He's been really putting on the points more than he's been doing in this regular season. He has really stepped up his game. He knows that he's one of the guys that Coach Gerson expects to fill in the shoes left by Hesed Gabo.
That being said, is there also an argument as Panganiban scores again with a tough move? Is there an argument that if you're San Juan or the opposing team to Nueva Ecija, you have to stop Chris Biton to stop the Rice Vanguards?
Well, not completely, but he is definitely one of the guys that you have to put your attention to. And we have to remember that Biton has already been a star in this league, so he definitely has the capability to elevate a team's play just by his mere individual performance.
Oh boy, great moves those were by Nico Panganiban, who, as much as he did it in game number 1, he's trying to do it again here on the road. It's now a 10-point advantage for San Juan in Palayan City.
Simple lang ang observation ni Coach Gerson Cabiltes sa first half. Ang Rice Vanguards daw ay nabibitin ng kanilang rhythm dahil sa mga unnecessary fouls and turnovers. Very uncharacteristic para sa defending champions. Now, Coach Gerson calls out his players and asks them na kailangan na nilang simulan sa disiplina kung gusto nilang magka-game 3. Now, for this second half, ang sabi niya, kailangan na daw nilang mag-commit sa kanilang defense and battle it out on the boards. Let's see if this can be the wake-up call for the Rice Vanguards. Mix and Happy?
It's really that tight for Nueva Ecija. You have to be almost perfect with your discipline on the floor, especially against a well-oiled machine in the San Juan Knights. Now, Michael Wico and company are down by 10 as Wico gets fouled.
Aminado naman itong staff ng Nueva Ecija that this is already an aging roster. And a lot of teams already have their eyes on dethroning Nueva Ecija. They know that with their retooled rosters, they have what it takes to topple what could be a dynasty for Nueva Ecija. At least that's what Sir Bong Cuevas has been hoping here for Nueva Ecija, to try to repeat as champions. But because of a lot of things, a lot of factors that have really grown throughout this season, it has been difficult for Nueva Ecija.
That free throw was brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. We got to give credit to the opponents of Nueva Ecija as well. They looked at the Rice Vanguards as the standard of the league, and for them to have made these roster changes, for them to have prepared against Nueva Ecija, boy, do we just give them the credit that they deserve as Calisan scored again inside? Now there's a foul.
And to talk about standard big men production in this game has been brought about by that man on your screens, Michael Calisan, outplaying all of the bigger names here in this game.
With Orlan Mamar being shut down by Nueva Ecija, it's Michael Calisan, the number 2 guy for San Juan, stepping up. It's been a night of number 2s with Encho Serrano being the best player for Pampanga in our first game, ahead of Balti Baltazar. Pass inside, Wico is fouled again.
Now we're seeing Michael Wico try to assert himself more in this last few minutes para sa Nueva Ecija. Trying to remind his team that they need to have that sense of urgency if they do want to extend the series. With the way that they've been playing here in this third quarter, it only means that San Juan has been outplaying them so far just by sheer effort and energy.
Free throw shooting is not helping Nueva Ecija's case as well. Wico misses 2. That puts them down to 13 out of 26, 50% from the line for the Rice Vanguards. Wico will inbound from the baseline as the ball went out of bounds. Man down. That's a foul on Byron.
It seems that Nopong was also hit in the neck.
And that would be the 3rd foul of Byron Villarias. Now, Will Macoloni is telling us that it was another flop by Adrian Nopong. Pulang-pulang nga naman yung mukha ni Adrian as of this moment. And there you see the hit by Byron.
Yeah, that it definitely was a foul. I'm not sure if they could elevate that to an unsportsmanlike foul, but it definitely has grounds to. Byron Villarias continues to struggle in this game. We all thought that with a good performance that he turned in during game 1, we thought that it was going to be a start of greater things once more para kay Villarias, who has struggled mightily this season in terms of shooting the basketball.
Byron only has 2 points in this game. He's 0 out of 1 from the field. No 3-pointers to his name. Orlan Mamar driving, passing to Ubalde, who fakes and misses. Offensive rebound to Calisan. Panganiban has 7 to work with. Nico at the corner, screened by Michael. There's the roller. Calisan dribbled the ball off of apparently Will Macoloni.
It seems they're going to correct this. It seems everybody here knew that it was going to be last touch San Juan.
All right, there's going to be a reversal. So Nueva Ecija will have possession. Michael Wico inbounds. 59-48. 4 minutes and 20 remaining in the third. Biton drives. Biton misses. Rebound to Ubalde. And here comes San Juan. Wamar pushing. Wamar dishing. Calisan finishing.
Oh boy, what a performance. Double-double para kay Michael Calisan. 21 points, 11 rebounds already in this game. And we still have so much to play here in the third quarter and a full 10 minutes to go in the fourth.
San Juan is running again, 3-on-3. The 3-point king shoots. But there was a foul on that attempt. Nico Panganiban took down Will Macoloni.
That's going to be a rare turnover here in the third quarter para sa San Juan. And Coach Randy Alcantara opting to bring in Marwin Taiwan and Zach Wang off the bench.
Taiwan just replaced Wamar. Zach Wang will have to wait some more. 61-48. Biton passes to the left. Michael Wico, feet inside. Nice look to Will. The lead is 11. With 3.5 minutes remaining in the third, we have seen a lot of comebacks happen here in Palayan City. But the question is, can Nueva Ecija do it again? They are fighting for survival in the 2023 Mpbl playoffs. Calisan with another back shot.
There's nothing you could do there if you're Nueva Ecija. You had your hand up. That was a difficult shot by Calisan. Unfortunately, he was able to bang it off the glass.
23 points down for Calisan. There's a man down. It's Nokom. He seems to be hurting. His face has turned red again. Let's see what happened there. We have to see it.
And he's writhing in pain, makes hindi siya mapakali.
You gotta see where he got hit. Is he holding onto his ribs?
Yeah. He seems to be in so much pain. He's down on the floor. Will Macoloni wants a technical for a flop.
You know, at some point, if you're a Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguard, you have to be careful with the referees. Remember, a lot of you are in foul trouble already in this game. But Nokom now is up. He's good to go. Although you gotta feel for him as well. It's not easy getting hit on your ribs.
He's been taking a lot of punishment.
There's the swing by Byron. Pero pambawi ni Byron yun eh. Looks like there was an initial contact between him and Nokom already.
Yeah, but that's the problem. It's usually the guy na bumabawi na tinatawagan. But you know, thankfully here for Nueva Ecija, there will be no call made.
Baseline inbound. Michael Wico looking for Byron. Villaria still hasn't made a three. And he continues to miss. There's a foul called on the loose ball. Was it on Wico? Referees will be reviewing the previous sequence. Michael Wico has 3 fouls already. Zach Wang, who was tangled up with him, has 3 fouls as well.
These are dangerous waters that Nueva Ecija is treading on right now. Wico was even lucky that he didn't end up with a quick goal right there, because right after our referees blew the whistle, he drew a reaction that hit one of our officials. That usually is an automatic technical.
Right. See what happened. This was the Byron miss. Zach Wang already was getting into it with Michael Wico on that box out play. A lot of swings there.
Yeah, there was the foul call. There you see Wico spurning a reaction that didn't really agree with what happened, but it looks like it's going to be in their favor. So Zach Wang will be called with a personal foul. So it's going to be 2 shots.
So Zach Wang is in foul trouble. Jeff Tahonera was ejected. You think at some point this can backfire onto San Juan if they lose their big men?
Yeah, that could be the case.
Michael Wico will go back to the line. It hasn't been the easiest night in terms of shooting gimmies for Nueva Ecija. Wico makes his first one. He's down 3 out of 7 from the stripe. 51 to 63. Our defending champions are fighting for survival in the 5th season of our league. Game number 3, if it happens, if it is necessary, it will happen this coming Monday here in Palayan City. Pampanga, somewhere out there, should be and must be scouting this game as they await for their opponents in the North Division Finals. Marwin Taiwan drives it, kicks. Panganiban from the corner. That's a 3.
It seems that every time Nueva Ecija is on the brink of a comeback, San Juan is able to answer back with a basket that deflates the Nueva Ecija defense.
This is now the biggest lead of San Juan in this game. And in this series as well, this match is their biggest lead as Will Macoloni goes back to the line.
This is now a big test of character for the Rice Vanguards here in this game. Still a lot of basketball to be played, but with the way things are going, the Knights have been able to dictate the tempo and pace of this game.
Second free throw is good for Will Macaloni. By the way, we just saw Kenneth Villapando and Ron Denison, 2 players with ACL injuries for the San Juan Knights. Of course, we hope for their speedy recoveries and their strong recoveries. Right now, it's up to E.G. Boy Mojica, Michael Calisan, and the rest of the white shirts to hold the fort against the Rice Vanguards. 66-54, under 2.5 minutes in the third. Marvin Taiwan working with E.G. Boy Mojica. 11 on the shot clock. Taiwan on the cross. He passes to AC. Nice fake. And there was a foul on the floor. That's Byron's 4th foul.
That's exactly what Coach Randy was calling from the sideline. He was waiting for the man of Joseph Ubalde to commit a mistake as he tried to set the screen to free up AC Soberano.
2 gimmies now for one of the shooters of the San Juan Knights. AC Soberano, his first one is no good. He has 3 points so far in this game after scoring 8 in game 1. And there you see the face again of Senator Jinggoy Estrada as he watches his team at the line. Second free throw is good. (67-54). Will Macaloni against E.G. Boy Mojica. That's a mismatch. Macaloni's double team. Nice escape. Sorry, missed. 2 free throws.
San Juan dropping down into some sort of man zone as Macaloni received the ball at the post. Unfortunately for the Knights, Macaloni making things happen on the low block, attacking the middle just like he always does.
First one is good for Will. He has shot a ton already from the line. 5 out of 6. That's 83% efficiency for Will Macaloni. But Nueva Ecija has 18 out of 31. Not the best of percentages. 1 out of 2 for Will. And here comes Marvin Taiwan. San Juan is up by 12. Same play. Different look now on the screen. And that's a steal. Numbers for Nueva Ecija. Bito on. Basket and 1.
That's a good read right there for Chris. He had the option to leave it for the trailing Michael Wico, but he knew that Mojica would go for the block, used his body to shield the basketball away from his defender. Good trap right there on Marvin Taiwan. And here, one man to beat, went up for the layup with his offhand.
Mojica seems to be injured. He's limping right now.
That's definitely not a good sign. San Juan's already depleted as it is with Tajonera out of this game, and he already mentioned Villafranca has not seen action in this series.
Zach Wang has 4 fouls. What seemed to have happened there? Do you think it's the ankle?
I hope it's not what I think it is.
Oh no, he's holding on to his knee. Let's see if Sydney can give us a report about E.G. Boy Mojica later on.
Mojica has had a history of knee injuries throughout the course of his career, but again, we do wish him the best.
Chris Biton is at the line. So now San Juan will be playing smaller. It's Adrian Novum at the 4 with Nico Panganiban at the 3 and their 2-point guards Orlan Omar and Marvin Taiwan at the guard positions. It's Michael Calisan as the only natural big remaining on the floor for San Juan.
This is the first time that the lead has gone down to single digits in the second half of this third quarter.
Nico Panganiban against Michael Wico. Screen up top. Panganiban on his drive. He almost lost it. Nocom recovers and misses. Rebound Nico. Panganiban goes to Nocom. That's a good look from the corner and a 3-pointer for Adrian Nocom.
Once again, getting beat on the glass were the taller Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. A new opportunity to get a basket. It ends up with a free look for Adrian Nocum, who has done a wonderful job of hoisting it up from the outside.
San Juan is now 8 out of 15 from downtown as Will Macaloni answers back. 10-point game.
That's a good answer if you're Nueva Ecija. You don't want to enter the fourth quarter down by a lot.
40 seconds to go before the end of the third. Marvin Taiwan working with Kalisaan. Marvin passes. Wamar drives, one-hander. That's too strong. Ball tapped away in favor of Nueva Ecija, and now San Juan's upset. Looks like Coach Randy will be challenging this. So both challenges have now been used in game number 2. Again, to remind everybody, this is a rivalry game. If you think about it, between San Juan and Nueva Ecija, they've been battling it out since last year, not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs. San Juan was responsible for handing Nueva Ecija its first loss in the 4th campaign of the Mpbl, and its only loss at home in 2 years. If San Juan wins tonight, this would only be the 2nd defeat of Nueva Ecija here in Palayan City. And this would also mean elimination for our defending champions if they lose tonight. But if they win, they will force game number 3 back here in this venue this coming Monday.
Well, San Juan knows that this has always been the story in most of their games. They would lead by a big margin, and then Nueva Ecija would engineer a comeback sometime during the second half, late in the third quarter, or during the fourth period. And then the Rice Vanguards would run away with the victory just by a very slim margin. So the Knights would want to avoid deja vu here on their home floor. We remember that during the regular season encounter, they had to go into overtime and escape the Knights because of Will Macaloni's go-ahead basket off a pass by Roy Sumang.
And again, Will Macaloni is playing in this game, but Roy Sumang is in street clothes. But that's the coach's decision for Nueva Ecija. They do have 4 more point guards to utilize in Chris Bitoon, Pamboy Raimundo, Philip Manalang, and Josh Fontanilla. On the other hand, the depletion is at the front line of the San Juan Knights, with Kevin Villafranca being out because of a calf injury, Jeff Tajonera being ejected from this game because of a technical foul and an unsportsmanlike foul. Zach Wang has 4 fouls, and E.G. Boy Mojica looks to have a knee injury. He's still a bit hobbled at the baseline as he works with Doc Carl of San Juan. Again, we're waiting for the challenge on the out-of-bounds call by the referees. It looks to be San Juan who will be getting possession. The challenge was successful. Here's the replay.
The ball bounced high off the glass. There you see it, yeah, very clear. It was off Will Macaloni.
So it's going to be a baseline inbound for Orlan Wamar as he works with Kalisaan, Panganiban, Nocum, and Taiwan. Orlan looking for a teammate. There's Nocum. 24 seconds to go before the end of the third. Here's Orlan. Screen by Kalisaan. Wamar trapped by Macaloni, and it's all worth it for Nueva Ecija.
That's good hands for Will Macaloni. Yan na yung sinasabing trap ng Nueva Ecija, giving different looks to Orlan Wamar in that pick and roll. Sometimes it would be drop coverage. Sometimes they would go under the screen and force him to shoot from the outside. They don't want him to stay comfortable in just one defensive look.
There was supposed to be a situational sub for Coach Randy and Joseph Ubalde, and yes, he will be checking in for Michael Kalisaan. Kalisaan has 3 fouls in this game, so he better be careful as well. Collado will check back in, but he has 4 fouls already. 14 seconds to go here in the third. Pamboy Raimundo against Orlan Wamar. Screen by Jay. Nice fake. Collado to Iloan. His three-pointer is good.
Execution to perfection para sa Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. What a great way to end that third quarter. Jonathan Oiloan coming in for that sole purpose of knocking down an outside shot. Collado not settling for the three-point shot, getting it to the better shooter with a better look. Jonathan Oiloan knocking it down from the outside to cut this lead down to 7.
Might just be the momentum that they need to begin the fourth quarter as they try to stay alive in the 2023 Mpbl playoffs. It is 70-63 in favor of San Juan after 3. Now, in this game, we debuted the feature of having shot charts in our production. And it's going to be very, very useful for us because we have to understand the struggle of Adrian Nocum in game number 1 and how he has recovered here in game number 2. Break it down for us, Abby.
I remember 0 field goals in game 1, but tonight Nocum already with 15 points in this game. And a lot of his shots have also come from beyond the arc. So a lot of variety in the game of Adrian Nocum tonight. He's showing us that he's not just a slasher, but he also has the capability to knock down the outside shot whenever the defense demands him to.
Adrian Nocum will be beginning the fourth quarter alongside Zach Wang, who has 4 fouls, Michael Calisaan, who has 3 fouls, Nico Panganiban, and Marwin Taiwan. On the other hand, for Nueva Ecija, it's Jonathan Oiloan, who just made a 3-pointer to end the third frame. Joining Chris Biton, Jay Collado, who has 4 fouls, Pamboy Raimundo, and Michael Mabula. There's the setup. Oiloan will fire that short. And now we get to see our quarter scoring.
San Juan still winning that third quarter, 23-21. And for Nueva Ecija, you gotta be worried because the Knights have been able to break the 20-point barrier in all of our 3 periods. So this is gonna be a quarter where they'll have to play their utmost defense against the Knights.
Well, they have no choice but to do it with the best of their abilities because this is their fight for survival as Nueva Ecija forces the 24-second shot clock violation. Michael Wico will return for Pamboy Raimundo.
That's a good way to start things off defensively if you're Nueva Ecija. Now, you gotta score a basket.
Chris Biton, the best player in the 2 winning games of Nueva Ecija in the playoffs. That's long on his 3-pointer. Here's Nocum against Jonathan Oiloan. The veteran versus the youngster. Nocum goes to Zach Wang, backdoor. Here's Nico Panganiban against Michael Wico. Tough matchup right there for Nico. 2 on the shot clock, and that's a foul on Michael Mabulak.
A heads-up play by Zach Wang against the very experienced Michael Mabulak. He drew his number right there on that play.
3 fouls now for Michael Mabulak in this game. Again, he fouled out in game number 1 of the series. Sideline for Adrian Nocum. Nocum goes to Zach. Back to Adrian. 12 on the shot clock. Nocum against Oiloan. There's the cross, the sidestep. Ball tapped away in favor of San Juan.
I thought that went off Nocum's leg. They'll have 6.6 seconds to work with on this possession of theirs.
Still a lot of time for Nico Panganiban and company. Baseline inbound. Nico will go to Calisaan. Now the ball is with Zach Wang, who attacks. Zach kicks the ball out. Time 1 for 3. That's too strong. Ball rebounded by Wico. Wico goes to Collado. Jay swings it over. Uiloan with a fake. Collado to Pamboy. Now they go to Mabula. Back to Raimundo. Baseline drive. Then on the shot clock. Tough pass. Turnover.
That's too much patience for Nueva Ecija.
Taiwan could not score on the other end. Rebound Uiloan. Weak on the run. Bounce pass. Mabula almost lost it. Then he recovers.
Already got himself thinking of shooting the basketball. Thankfully, he recovered. Talking about Michael Mabula. Give credit to Pamboy Raimundo for getting the go-ahead pass to his big man.
Nueva Ecija trailed by as many as 14 in this game. Now it's only a 5-point difference. Nocum fakes. Nocum drives. Nice feed to Zach, who misses. And here come the defending champions. Michael Wico will attack. He misses as well. Ball out of bounds.
Wow, what an exchange of misses coming from both squads. Two people who you did not expect would miss those kinds of baskets. Zach Wang and Mike Wico, two misses at the basket.
Man down, that's Pamboy. Leaving Orlan wide open, but he misses. And here comes Wico onto Iloan. There's one man sealing inside. Mabulak taking down Nocum. Now they go to Macanoni. Nice fake. And Will Macanoni scores.
The crowd is definitely loving it here at the Nueva Ecija Coliseum. Good read by Will Macaloni, putting the ball on the deck. San Juan not quite sure what they were going to do defensively. They allowed Macaloni the lane to the basket, and with a simple ball fake, got himself the opportunity for that left-handed layup.
It's been an 11-point swing for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. The lead is down to 3.
Bate ko magano. Saka. Hey, let's go. Hey, defense. 1 2 3. Defense.
Welcome back to game number 2 of the North Division semifinals between the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards and the San Juan Knights. Two teams who have turned as rivals here in the Mpbl. Just like last year, Nueva Ecija trailed the series 1-0 against San Juan. But this year, can they do what they did last year, which was move back and win the series 2-1? If Nueva Ecija wins this game, we return to Palayan City on Monday for Game 3. No basket for San Juan. That's a good tap by Villarias. A three-pointer for Orlan. That's good!
This is the domain of Orlan Mamar. Fourth quarter, winning time. Ball in his hands. Not afraid to knock down those jumpers.
73-67. Good hands by Orlan. Nocum is fouled by Michael. That would be the 4th foul of Michael Mabulak.
That's more frustration para kay Michael Mabulak. What a good takeaway by Orlan Mamar on the defensive end. But look at this 3-point shot. That's all the daylight Mamar needs to be able to get a good look at the 3-point shot. And that puts more cushion on the lead here of San Juan.
Here's Nocum. Against Villarias. Adrian will pull up. He's had that shot all night long.
And you know what's been working here for San Juan? A positive of their gameplay here tonight is Nocum has done most of the ball handling duties compared to Orlan Wamar tonight para sa San Juan, which leaves Wamar with a lot more energy as we go down the stretch.
I like that point as Calisaan is denied inside, but he's got his own board and now he's blocked by Will Macaloni. Can Nueva Ecija capitalize on the other end? Pamboy needs a teammate. Macaloni's open. The ball is with Michael Mabulak against Joseph Ubalde. Champion versus champion. That's a turnover. And the charge.
Unnecessary contact there by Joseph Ubalde. Already did a good job staying in front of Mabulak as he tried to move past you in the post. No need for you to commit that offensive foul. You give Nueva Ecija another chance at trimming this deficit.
Now there would be a timeout on the court to calm everybody down again. It's an 8-point lead for San Juan with under 5.5 minutes to go in game number 2. We are coming back to you live from Palayan City. It is an 8-point advantage for the San Juan Knights with 5 minutes and 26 seconds to go in game number 2. And now we present to you our Suzuki muscular and sporty fans of the game. Just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki, the Avenus. Oras na para magmotor. We just heard that EG Boy Mojica will not be able to return in this game. If we can get a camera on him, his left knee is actually wrapped right now. There's heavy bandage on it. Let's hope for his speedy recovery. Baseline inbound, pass to Collado. Jay will score.
Quick basket off of the timeout. That's what Nueva Ecija wanted. Now let's see if they can produce a number of consecutive stops.
Panganiban has the ball against Jonathan Uiloan. They're trying to set Wamar free. It's been a long night for Orlan. Nico still has it. 5 on the shot clock. Panganiban feeds to Ubalde, who misses. Rebound Calisaan. He turns around and scores.
That's been the story of the game all night long. They may have slowed him down in the third quarter for just a bit. But now, after getting some rest, entering the fourth and final period, once again, Michael Calisaan delivering the goods for San Juan.
25 points, 15 rebounds for Calisaan. Uiloan, high-low. Macaloni is fouled.
It could have been a push against Macaloni. Could have gone that way. He got the better of that judgment of the referee.
There's the offensive rebound of Michael Calisaan, who has been outworking all of the bigs of Nueva Ecija all night long. Total rebounds, 33 to 31 in favor of San Juan. And that's with a depleted front line for Coach Randy Alcantara. There you see Hesed Gabo watching from the sideline. I actually had a talk with him before this game. I asked him, what does it take to be the point guard for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards? And he said, a lot of discipline, a lot of patience, to the point wherein if you see the slightest opening on the defense of your opponents, it doesn't actually mean that it's the best option for you. You have to be extra disciplined. You have to be extra patient in order to utilize the rest of your teammates to execute the plays of Coach Gerson Cabiltes. We all know how hard it has been all year long, that narrative in the point guard position for Nueva Ecija. And so, the question continues to be alive for the Rice Vanguards. Who can be that guy for them in the fourth quarter? Can it be Chris Biton again?
That's why it's been so difficult to fill in the shoes vacated by Hesed Gabo, because it was really only him who truly understood to the dot what Coach Jerson Cabutes wanted from a floor general.
Oh my goodness, that's another answer from the San Juan Knights. With everything that we have seen from Nueva Ecija, San Juan has a reverse Uno card on the other end of the floor.
They seem to play defense for a good amount of time before the ball finds itself in the hand of an open shooter, and that time it was Nico Panganiban knocking it down.
80-71. Good effort by Adrian Nocum as the ball went out of bounds.
That was a dangerous pass made by Michael Wico. Now the question for San Juan is, how much do they have left in the tank to keep up this lead?
Now this three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. They do have a good lead though of 9 points, and obviously momentum on their side to the delight of Ron Denison, who before he exited this season was the top 3-point shooter for San Juan. As Bitoon works hard, got his own board, and he misses. Wico, wala pa rin. Rebound Kalisaan.
Breaks of the game as well have not been in the favor of the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards tonight.
Nico Panganiban will now go to Adrian Nocum. Pass inside, Kalisaan fakes. Nice move by Mike.
What a very simple offensive set right there. Once again, they isolate Adrian Nocum. This time on the low block, facing up in Kalisaan, just slowly creeping in from behind the defense on the baseline. Macaloni caught ball watching, as well as Jay Collado. Another easy stab inside para kay Kalisaan.
27 points already for Michael Kalisaan in this game. With Orlando Mar being shut down by Nueva Ecija, his teammates have definitely come alive. They have an 11-point lead with 3 minutes and change to go. In the league of big men for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, one man has stood tall for San Juan, and that is Michael Kalisaan, who has 27 points and 18 rebounds to his name. San Juan now has an 11-point lead with 3 minutes and 14 to go. They just forced another turnover as well from the Nueva Ecija side. Here's Orlan Mamar going to Michael Kalisaan, on to Zach Wang. Zach against Will Macaloni. Now they go to Nocum, one on the shot clock. 24-second violation.
Well, those are the kinds of stops that Nueva Ecija has been needing throughout this game, and for the most part, they haven't been able to deliver. With under 3 minutes remaining, time not on their side.
Chris Viton will bring that basketball down. Can they execute to perfection? They're trying to fight for survival in our 2023 playoffs. Uiloan for 3. That's good.
Now this could slowly change things here for Nueva Ecija, but they need this stop.
82-74. 2.5 minutes remaining in game number 2. If San Juan wins, they will take on Pampanga in the North Division Finals. Panganiban drives. Turnover. One guy ahead. It's Jonathan Uiloan. There's the chase by Nocum. Ball out of bounds in favor of the defending champions.
San Juan is not yet out of the woods here. They have to remember that Nueva Ecija will try to fight until the final buzzer. This 8-point lead is nowhere near safe.
Coach Sherson is using this time to talk to his players. 2 minutes and 15, baseline inbound. Marvin Taiwan will now be checking in for Coach Randy Alcantara. Again, coming into this game, Nueva Ecija is undefeated at home, 7-0. They only lost here once in 2 years, and that's to San Juan last year in game number 1 of the North Division Finals. Uiloan, top of the key, that's a big one, too strong. Rebound San Juan.
That would have cut it to a 5-point lead. Let's see how these final 2 minutes will play out.
Orlan Mamar and company looking for revenge. They want payback. Orlan crosses. Onto Zach Wang. One-hander. Off to the right. Rebound Goleado. A crucial possession for Nueva Ecija. Biton crosses. Biton passes. Macaloni. He muscles his way through. No basket. Offensive rebound. Macaloni takes down Kalisaan, and that's a charge.
Oh, big call right there. Already had a chance to knock it down the first try, but it rimmed out. That's just been the story. They missed a lot of easy opportunities inside. Wico has had a number of them. Macaloni as well. There you go. A little lowering of the shoulder and the extension of that right forearm to elicit that offensive call.
You have a timeout on the court. It's 82-74 with 1 minute and 33 remaining. Nueva Ecija is undefeated here in Palayan City this season. They're 7-0, but obviously right now it's looking dangerous for them as they are on the brink of elimination. With 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining in game number 2, the Nueva Ecijanos are praying for a miracle for Coach Gerson Cabildes against Coach Randy Alcantara. Full court inbound for Nico Panganiban. There's the pressure defense by Nueva Ecija, almost a steal. Ball out of bounds in favor of San Juan.
They can review this. We're under 2 minutes now. I also thought it was last touch on Orlan Mamar.
You can just feel the sense of urgency. Nueva Ecija, with the limited losses that they have presented to us in these past 2 years. Again, when it comes to the playoffs, you only have to lose twice. And then you're done, at least for the first 3 rounds. Before the best of 5 in the finals. In this game, San Juan has been very impressive with their answers. We've had a lot of moments where in Nueva Ecija we thought was going to get the momentum already, but the 3-pointers have come in. The execution outside of Orlan Mamar scoring, it has worked really well for Coach Randy.
Yeah, this game truly epitomizes the quote that fortune favors the brave, and with the way San Juan has been playing, they've been out-hustling and out-rebounding Nueva Ecija on various plays in this game. And that's why they have elicited a lot of lucky breaks in this game. Shots that you think wouldn't have fallen for them have fallen. This was the play in question. There you see, that's a close call.
It is apparently off of Orlan Mamar, so Nueva Ecija will have possession here. A sideline inbound for Chris Biton. All of the players can shoot threes for Coach Gerson. That's Biton with Palma, Uiloan, Villarias, and Goleado. Let's see what they can do. 89 seconds to go. Villarias, strip, recovery, Palma for 3. Yes, sir. And the lead is down to 5.
This is not yet over. At Nueva Ecija, they need a stop here.
84 seconds to go. Adrian Nocom looking for a teammate. There's Panganiban in trouble. And he throws the ball onto Nocom. Nocom will attack. Adrian Nocom misses. Rebound Biton.
That could have been a travel earlier by Panganiban.
Byron for 3. In and out. Rebound to Biton. And then he lost the ball. Possession for San Juan, but the referees will review this again.
Wow, what a sequence. Where everybody, a lot of people here inside the venue were already making their way to the exits. But seeing as this game is not yet done, the outcome has not yet been decided, especially after that Renz Palma trifecta. Everybody is waiting in limbo here to see if their home squad still has a chance. That was a close shot by Byron Villarias, just rimmed out. Definitely last touch of Chris Biton.
So San Juan will be inbounding. They have Orlan Romar, Marvin Taiwan, 2-point guards joining Adrian Nocom, Zach Wang, and Michael Calisaan. We have 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining in game number 2. San Juan looking to advance to the North Division Finals. Forward pass, Nocom goes to Wang, and now the ball is with the franchise player of the San Juan Knights. They go to Zach, mismatch. Zach Wang attacking, triple team, kick out, Taiwan for 3. Oh my goodness! Marvin Taiwan comes alive in the clutch again.
Just like his performance in game 1, a three-pointer knocked down by Taiwan.
Missed by Biton. Byron for 3. That's short. 36 seconds to go.
It looks like Nueva Ecija is not going to foul anymore.
Calisaan will attack. There's the foul. And not the best of fouls. It's 2 plus 1 for Michael Calisaan. A chance for him to reach 30 points in this game.
What a performance tonight by San Juan. And that's already the 5th of Jake Goleado. He will now exit this game. Calisaan, he has been the standard of excellence for San Juan whole game long. But what about Marvin Taiwan? Once again, stepping up to the plate, unfazed by the challenge in the pressure. He did not hesitate to take that open three-point shot in the left corner. That could have been the final nail in the coffin.
28 seconds to go. Bonus free throw for Michael Calisaan. He has 29 points and 18 rebounds. Make that 30 for Mike, as now Joseph Ubalde will check in. Timeout for Nueva Ecija. They're down by 11 as they pray for the best of miracles in these last 28 seconds. The defending champions again are on the brink of elimination. If they pull off that miracle somehow, then we go back to Palayan City on Monday. If not, San Juan will advance to the North Division Finals to take on the Pampanga Giant Lanterns inside the Brenzy Giao Convention Center beginning next Saturday. I'm sure a lot of people are stunned because, again, in the past 2 years, most of us have thought that Nueva Ecija has been invincible in the Mpbl. It hasn't been as easy as compared to last year. And San Juan now, their plan of revenge is almost complete.
Winning the championship is one thing. Repeating as champions, especially in a league where numerous teams have really retooled and revamped their rosters. It hasn't been the easiest of rides, as you mentioned, para dito sa Nueva Ecija.
Sideline inbound, Chris Biton. Looking for a teammate. There's Jonathan Uiloan. They go to Palma, who lost the ball. Recovery here. Byron goes to Jonathan. Uiloan from downtown. That's good off the glass. It's 88 to 80. 17 seconds remaining. Marwin will be fouled. Ooh, there was a hit.
That's not really A good display of class by Jonathan Oiloan, especially coming from a veteran like him.
Adrian Nopum is okay. And it's Marvin Taiwan who should be getting ready to shoot free throws. Or are they in the penalty already? Yes, Nueva Ecija is in the penalty. Here comes Mr. Clutch for the San Juan Knights. Scored 6 points in game number 1 off of 2 clutch three-pointers, both from the corner. And he made another clutch 3 in this game, also from the corner. Second free throw off of his first miss.
One thing that the Knights will definitely have to improve on, as it looks like they're going to move on to the next round, are their free throws. That's going to be something that they have to address.
Oiloan will fire. That's no good, and that should do it. The San Juan Knights officially eliminate the defending champions, the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, and San Juan will now advance to the North Division Finals to take on the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
Oh, what a ball game. San Juan just playing their hearts out. We'd like to remind everybody, Mix, that this is a depleted roster that they've been playing with against a very much talented, experienced Nueva Ecija team. But they covered all the boxes, ticked it off, and they were able to come out with plays that even we did not think would happen para dito sa San Juan.
We do give our kudos to the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, who again have set the standard so high in the Mpbl. They had targets on their backs all season long. They have been the talk of the town in terms of which teams can take them down here in the Mpbl. San Juan just did it twice here in the North Division semifinals, and for the first time in these playoffs, it's not going to be Orlan Momar who is the best player of San Juan.
30 points, 18 rebounds, 3 steals, 11 out of 19 from the field. How could you not give player of the game honors to Michael Calisan, playing his best game of the season yet para sa San Juan, closing out the defending champions, the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Once again, they dethroned the defending champions, and also they put themselves in a good place to be the only team to repeat as national champions here in the Mpbl. But of course, they will have to face Pampanga first in the North Division Finals.
So the standard is upheld for San Juan, minimum North Division Finals, as now Michael Calisan is with Sydney Crespo.
At tinapos na nga ng San Juan Knights ang season ng defending champions, and Michael Calisan, you are the best player of the game with 30 points and 18 rebounds. Michael, 2-0 in the quarterfinals versus Makati and 2-0 ngayon versus Nueva Ecija. Paano nyo to nagawa at bakit parang walang kaba sa inyo ngayong gabi?
Naglalaro lang kami as a team eh. Nagpe-prepare kami everyday eh. So na-ready naman kami nila coach para sa mga games namin. Nakita naman natin number 3 Makati, and then ngayon number 2 yung Nueva Ecija. So next game hopefully yung number 1 naman.
Michael, alam ko marami pa kayong paghahandaan ngayon versus Pampanga in the North Division Finals. Sino mga gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord sa panalong ito. Napakahirap pero ginabayan niya kami. Senator Jinggoy, siyempre, Boss James Go, sa aming sponsors, Go for Gold, Boss Jeremy, JS Yuamusop, Thunderbird, DLMT Sportswear, at sa mga San Juaneños na walang sawa sumusuporta sa amin. Maraming salamat sa inyo, at yung asawa ko, si Steph, yung anak ko, si Mateo, si Coco, yung mga taga Bebe Abu Boys, si Rolly Boy, yung tatay ko na nanalo ng barangay captain, binabati ko, congrats lang. Lahat ng pamilya ko, mga pamilya ng teammates ko. Yun lang.
Thank you so much, Michael. Once again, congratulations sa inyo. Migs and Javi, that's it. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sydney. And so Michael Calisan will now have 7 days to rest after his tough battle against the big men of the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Up next, he has Balti Baltazar and the rest of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. It is Pampanga versus San Juan in the North Division Finals.
Literally another tall order for the Knights, but they have already proven that they could slay giants here in the league by dethroning the defending champions and Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Although it was the best game yet of the season for Michael Calisan, still a total team effort for the San Juan Knights. Everybody chipped in. A lot of people had their moments. Adrian Nocom played splendidly. Nico Panganiban had his moments as well. Orlan Mamar was still as effective in the dying minutes of this game in trying to make for his teammates and make something happen, especially on the defensive end as well.
Now, of course, we do wish for the speedy recovery of E.G. Boy Moica, who got injured in this game, a knee injury for him. Jeff Tahonera got ejected, so it's a question as to his availability for game number 1 versus Pampanga. It's already been a depleted front line for Coach Randy Alcantara. That's why their wings, much like Adrian Nocom, have had to step up for them. It's going to be a longer journey against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, and this is only the beginning again for San Juan, because if you think about it, their battle, their story against Pampanga is also of good caliber, no? Maybe not as high of a rivalry against Nueva Ecija, but that's going to be one heck of a battle.
San Juan versus Pampanga. I'm sure the coaching battle is also something that I look forward to in this one. Coach Randy Alcantara has spearheaded this San Juan Knights squad beautifully. He has outcoached Coach Gerson Cabiltes. Despite having the lesser talented roster, he was able to make things happen, get the best out of his squad. Just really kudos. But, you know, Coach Gerson Cabiltes, still a good job this season. He has faced numerous challenges in his defense of the championship. A lot of injuries have happened. Players have come out and in and out of the roster. The loss of Hesid Gabo has been one thing that they've been struggling to fill in. And that's why, you know, this has been the case para sa Nueva Ecija. But still, we have a great North Division finals to come up with.
It is up to question as to who the new recruits will be for Coach Gerson next year, and which of his players, especially the veterans, will be able to stay on his lineup. So now our North Division finals picture is complete, but tomorrow we will proceed to Batangas for Bacoor versus Zamboanga and Batangas versus Jensen in the respective Game 2s in the South Division. Thank you for joining us in Nueva Ecija. For Javi Palanya and Sidney Crespo, my name is Mix Gomez, and now we turn you over to our press conference.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mpbl post-game press conference. Congratulations, Senator Jingo Estrada and our best player, Michael Calisaan. Sen, last year, hindi Ecija yung tumalo sa inyo. Hindi nakaabante ang San Juan. Ngayon naman, tinalo nyo sila dito sa home court, and also you upset the champion, Coach.
Well, kasi kanina, tinausap ko sila. Even before we went here, kinausap ko yung mga players, sabi ko, I do not want to, a repeat performance. Kasi last year, nanalo kami first game dito sa home court, natalo kami sa home court namin, pagbalik dito, natalo rin kami. So, I don't want to have a repeat performance. Sabi ko, kung pwede na tapusin ngayon, tapusin na natin. Dahil siyempre, mapapagod din yung mga players natin, yung mga coaches natin, sa kapabiyahe papunta rito, napakalayo. But at any rate, I would also like to congratulate the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards for putting up a good fight. Talagang alam mo, napakalakas ang Nueva Ecija at malaki rin ang aking respeto sa Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Of course, them being the defending champion. But also my hats are off to my players and my coaches for not giving up. Talagang nasa puso sila. They were really determined to win this game.
Michael, ang next na mga kalaban nyo is Pampanga sa Divisions Finals. Ano yung dapat nyong paghandaan para sa kanila?
Depende pa kala coach eh. Siguro for now, magre-rest muna kami. Mas kailangan namin siguro sa ngayon yun. Kasi bugbog talaga kami. Yung nakalaban namin, nakita naman namin, number 3, which is Makati, number 2, which is Nueva Ecija. Ngayon, number 1, sana swerte yun kami ulit.
So yun nga po, no? Si Governor Delta Kangina, sinasabi panunurin niya yung game na to para mapagandaan kung sino yung mananalo. Meron pa bang itinatago? Anong formula pa? Meron pa ba kayong pwedeng ilabas para naman masigurado yung
Well, sa totoo lang, pagdating namin sa Pampanga, laban namin sa Pampanga, we are considered the underdogs. Kasi first of all, we are undermanned. And let's face it, talagang malakas yung lineup ng Pampanga Giant Lanterns. But still, I have confidence with my players dahil meron silang never say die attitude at talagang they never give up.
Senador, kanina medyo lamang na yung San Juan Heights. Unlike before na pagka ganun mga lamang na 10 points, medyo... Pero kanina nandun lang kayo sa upuan, hindi kayo tumatayo. Medyo...
Well, pagka mga lamang ang kalaban namin, nagpapalit kami ng upuan. Binabalasa namin yung upuan.
Sen, kamusta naman po yung free throws natin ngayong game na to?
Still has a lot of room for improvement. Pagka sabi ko sa mga boys, sabi ko sa mga players ko, nung nanalo kami ng first game, that almost cost our game, yung free throws. Sabi ko, pagka yung free throws yun, hindi nyo pagbutihan, at kailangan natin sa endgame yan, wala tayong dapat sisihin kundi yung mga free throws na nyo. Siguro, pero still, I'm not yet satisfied with their free throws right now.
Thank you.